Thanks to the support as a channel member, Martin Cooper. Well, this intro was going to be much more positive, and then in our last game, we conceded 8 goals. Hello, welcome to part 121 of Bourne in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 games for you in the championship. We're away against San Antonio and at home against Miami. Since you were last with me, we were doing all right. And then we went to Phoenix and it was 8-3. We didn't have anyone sent off or anything. We just conceded 8 goals against a mid-table team, as you do sometimes. I mean, to be fair, they are above us in the league this year, but they're very much a mid-table championship team and have been for a long, long time. They're doing all right this year, but at the time, they were only 1 point ahead of us in the league and put 8 goals back. We've still got a better goal difference than them this year. I don't understand what happened, but the league table looks fine. We'd have taken this 16 games in. We're in 6th place. We're still in the playoffs. We're still in with a chance. We're not going up automatically, but we were never supposed to. We're not supposed to be anywhere near the playoffs. The fact we are is super duper fun. Hopefully it continues for a long time, but most importantly, I hope we hurry up and get the points on the board that we need to make sure we're not relegated, and we are edging closer towards that all the time. Would like to point out as well the calibre of player we're up against this year. El Paso have got a player who's got 22 goals and 14 appearances, a 22-year-old Norwegian under-21 international who he's having quite the season. But they spent nearly £1 million on him as a 17-year-old, and believe it or not, he's now worth quite a lot of money and he's quite good. That's what we're up against this year. It's a miracle we're this high in the league. We are doing exceptionally well. And hopefully we'll do well again today against San Antonio. This is the team. We've got Rosales in goal, a back four of Nix, Baron, Regis and Pierce, Korotowski and Allen in midfield, Pardo and Davies out wide, and then Hatuka and Pearson up front. I think you'd met Omri Hakuta in the last episode. We brought him in on a free transfer right towards the end of the window, and he has hit the ground running. 4 goals in 5 starts for us. He wasn't brought in to be a starter, but he's playing really very well. So start he shall do because he's been playing so well. A couple of players there not really fully match fit, but as you can see, I've made significant changes from the Phoenix game because I don't remember if I mentioned we conceded 8 goals. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I don't understand. But yeah, we conceded 8 goals. We conceded 8 goals. Cross from Davies, and it is cleared by the San Antonio defenders, and they are now trying to get a counter-attack going, and they are just charging at us. I mean, they might suspect that we might have the odd defensive frailty. I don't know what would give them that idea. We've been pretty defensively sound all season until we conceded 8 goals in the last game. But other than that, we've played pretty well at the back. So, you know, Rosales is supposedly our best player. Oh, God. Right. We'll be fine. Hatuka has picked up an injury already, apparently. We'll leave him on for now because it's very early to be making a substitution, especially for a player who's been a key player for us in some of the better results that we've had lately. You know, the ones where we didn't concede 8 goals. Davies, he's in here. Oh, that is a lovely finish from Jonathan Davies. Can we have a look at this one again, please? Someone arrange a replay for me. I know it's unusual, but I'd love a replay. I think he's hit this with his knee. I don't know how he's controlled it the way he's controlled it here. So the ball forward from Baron, and then you get the flick on from Pearson. And, I mean, it's just a perfect touch. If he hits that any harder, it goes over the crossbar. If he hits it any lighter, the goalkeeper saves it. He's got no right to score that goal, but he has. And it was really, really very good. See, we've got some stars of our own. Forget your fancy Norwegians. We've got Jonathan Davies. That's probably a song that the Bourne fans sing. Hatuka then nods it on to Davies, who hasn't spent a lot of time playing out on the right wing. If you recall, we originally signed him to be a backup right winger for us. And similar to how Hatuka's done this season, he got an opportunity playing up front and just forced his way into the team and has never really left. But with the emergence of the new boy, he's playing out on the right-hand side today. Robinson missing out, and Davies is having a very, very good game so far. I think he's won a penalty here as well. So scored a goal, won a penalty. Davies might be our new right winger because these first 13 minutes he's had out there, he didn't win a penalty. Forget that plan entirely. Get Robinson back in. I don't know. Nick's playing it forward, looking for Pearson, but it's a really poor attempt at playing the ball forward towards Pearson, and San Antonio knock the ball through our middle relatively comfortably again, and we could really use somebody getting a tackle in if somebody would like to take the responsibility of doing that. Nobody fancies it. We'll just leave it to Rosales because that works so well. Leave it to the goalkeeper to handle. What's the worst that could happen? He's not going to see 8 goals, is he? I mean, I would point out that Rosales was on international duty for that game, so he wasn't actually in goal when we conceded 8 goals. He's just come back and seen the mess that's been created in his absence. And I do wonder what might have happened if we'd have had Rosales, who is a step above not just every other goalkeeper we've got, pretty much every other player that we've got. I wonder, because we went to Phoenix and scored 3 goals away from home. Maybe if Rosales had played, we'd have won 3-0. Who knows? But yeah, it did seem to be that every time they touched the ball, it ended up in the back of our net. Whereas today, Rosales playing well, we're playing well. We have got a couple of injured players we need to keep an eye on. Hatuka and Nix are both struggling, so I think we'll take them both off now. They've made it to the hour mark. Hatuka is going to come off for Torres. I don't know that Torres can play that false 9 role. He's just going to have to. It'll be fine. And then we'll take off Nix as well. Not Baron. Oh, what have I done here? Right, we're going to take off Nix. We don't have a left back on the bench, so Pierce is going to have to go. We're going to have a proper shuffle around. So we're going to bring Thompson on. Pierce is going to go to left back. And then Regis is going to go to right back. The defence has been well shuffled there. Joe Allen, not that one. Looks like he's tiring in midfield as well. And ordinarily, I'd probably look to take him off at this point. But with half an hour to go, I'd quite like to save a substitution, at least until there's maybe only 20 minutes to go. Just keep him on for a little bit longer. It's very early to make a triple substitution, especially when you're winning. It's a little bit different if you're trying to turn the game around. But when you're winning 1-0, to do a triple substitution after an hour is madness. Axel Torres has just come on. He looks tall, doesn't he? And he has just grabbed his first ever goal for Bourne. I need to find out how tall he is. I think, is he the one who I signed because he was enormous? Or was that somebody else? I mean, I feel like it must be him because he looks so big. Can we have a look at him, please? Get me onto the in-betweeny screen. I need to check the height of this player, because if he is an absolute giant, we could probably just play him as a target man, which is what we used to do before we got all fancy with this false 9 that I'm now married to. You know what I'm like. I try something, it works, and then I won't move away from it for a year. But maybe if he is a proper big target man, we could perhaps play him as such, and we'd be all right. Although, to be fair, it was a solid finish from him to grab our second goal. Rosales in with another good save. I tell you what a difference maker that boy is. Corner for San Antonio, 25 minutes. Was that player called Dwonkin? Was it Dwonkin or Dworkin? Either way, great name. Right, Torres he's only 6'2". I'm sure we signed an absolute giant. I might be thinking of a different save. they all kind of merge together. Right, Joe Allen's going to come off for Gentry as our final change. 15 minutes to go. That seems like a reasonable time to make that substitution. And Korotowski with the corner. Pardo's there. I would argue the most unlikely man on the pitch you'd expect to be getting on the end of a corner, but he got on the end of it and tested the goalkeeper. It is a save, a relatively comfortable one as well. But it was nice to see him getting involved. I encourage more of that if possible. Right, Rosales collects. And just hold on to it. Just waste some time now. He's had a very good game in goal for us today. Davies winning the header. And that's a lovely pass from Torres. And Gentry is in nosebleed territory, getting forward and forcing a shot at goal. And we have another corner. We're playing all right in this match. Korotowski with the corner. It's Baron, a more typical target for corners this time. But he misses by more than what Pardo missed by. So who should we really be aiming our corners at, I ask you? Probably Baron, the guy who's got like 20 goals from corners in the last couple of seasons. I think this has been disallowed for an offside, which is handy because I don't want to go into the final 10 minutes only a goal ahead, because I'm going to get all nervous if that happens. Goal is disallowed. Excellent stuff. And we maintain our 2-0 lead, which actually pushes us back up into the fabled top 5. Remember, we've never finished outside of the top 5 in any league. We might be terrible at the playoffs, but we're great at qualifying for them. And we are looking like we are on course to at least threaten them again this year. Pearson, that is some really interesting play from Josh Pearson, who's had a very quiet game, other than, I mean, I'd credit him with the assist for that goal because it's such a weird header. I don't even know what he's attempting to do there. He's headed it with such force. That's not cushioned down to Gentry, if that's what he thinks he's doing. I know there's a lot of football that goes on after that, but it all starts with Pearson and his absolutely insane header. What's he up to? Nobody knows what he's up to there. We've got to hold on to this, though. We're only 2 points behind Phoenix again. Did I mention they scored 8 goals against us in the last game? Thompson with the header that just flirts with the crossbar. He might be the giant. He looks like a big boy. We're giant hunting, boys and girls. Is Thompson a big boy? Where is he? Jonathan Thompson, 6'6". I knew he'd signed a big one. There we go. Right. Another victory. Let's go and make it 2 in a row with our next game. These matches are all coming a little bit too close together. We either that or our training needs to change because we have got so many players not fit for this Miami game, and Miami are 3rd in the league. But Davies, Baron, Pearson, Pierce, Pardo, Hatuka, Nix, Korotowski, Allen, all not fully fit for this game. We might concede 8 goals again. Rosales in goal, a back four of Mitchell, Thompson, Corby and Regis. Rochester and Gentry in midfield. Rodriguez and Robinson out wide. Davies and Wright up front. I've detailed the entire team because it's basically an entirely new 11. Oh, at 8 changes. It says there, you don't have to count them. 8 changes. We've just made 8 changes to a winning team. What do I do, though? Play a bunch of players who are not fit? Or make the... I mean, really, I don't really want to be playing Davies either, but we didn't really have another option. I guess Torres could have started. He's not even on the bench because Pearson and Hatuka have both dropped down there. But the entire bench... Rob Lindley's the only player on the bench who's actually fit. This is... It's a silly situation. I can only hope... I mean, looking at the Miami team, it looks like they've decided to play the players who aren't fully fit. So it's an interesting contrast in strategies for 2 teams that are both in, or who are both in the playoff hunt. They're 3rd, we're 5th. They're playing all of their unfit players, as you can see. We are resting all of ours and playing what's not a million miles away from being a second string. That is, there's some letters in there. I've never seen that before. What are they? Well, we're 1-0 down regardless. Oh, it makes more... Okay, it's just the font made it look weird. It looks like an actual letter in that font. Obviously, the font pack for the goal announcement hasn't got that letter in. What alphabet's that from, boys and girls? Let me know down in the comments section. Robinson is in behind here. A good cross and we grab a goal. Davies is there. It's a very good save from the Miami goalkeeper. Goodness me. Wright was lurking in the area as well, but it didn't quite get to him. This is a big day for Tristan Wright. He's obviously been a hero previously. I think he is still officially on the club legends list, even though it only took him 2 seasons to get there. But he scored a lot of goals in those 2 seasons. But those 2 seasons were League 2 and our first year in League 1. His second year in League 1, we didn't play him as much because he wasn't training very well. And when he did get opportunities, he didn't really take them. And he's pretty much untried in the Championship. So it's a big ask of him today to prove that he's good enough to still be part of the squad. We've got away with one there, I think. The VAR has now balanced itself out over the course of the episode. It cost us a goal in the last one, but we're saved from conceding a penalty this time around. Looking at the match stats, we look like we're playing reasonably well. There's very little to separate the 2 teams other than that goal. I did notice Davies was suggested as a substitution right on the stroke of half time. We're going to keep him on for as long as possible because Hatuka, who would be the man to come on for him, is also not really fully fit. It's the problem with having a bench that's not fit. any change we make, we don't want to make changes at half time, for example, because those players are going to be tired. Davies is all on his own here. He needs some kind of support unless he's going to go and win a penalty. The ref, is he just giving it? He's not even going to the little telly? Okay, we're going to a review. No little telly involved this time. And we have a penalty. It looked like a soft one, but I'll take it. This is our opportunity to draw level. It's Tristan Wright. And he scores. Bourne 1, Miami 1, a second goal of the season for Wright. And we are back in this game. And it was good work from Davies he had no one supporting him and nowhere to go. And he's just quite cleverly won himself a penalty there, I think. Very, very, very good levels of gamesmanship from Davies, who we are now going to take off because he's shattered. So Hatuka can come on for him, who had to leave the game early in the last match because of an injury, but is now recovered enough to be on the bench today and give us the half hour that we were robbed of him in the last match. Regis now out at right back with the cross coming in. Can't find Wright, but it falls to Rochester, and now Gentry. It's a big opportunity for Gentry as well. He's not started a lot of matches recently. So for Gentry to get on from the start, after he looked he looked useful when he came on in the last game. So I guess the one positive of having to rotate as much as we've had to rotate over the last 3 or 4 games is I'm getting a good look at most of the squad in competitive matches. And that's only going to go to our advantage in the second half of the season. Well, that's a big miss from Wright. As I'm trying to work out who my best 11 is, because at the moment we're 18 games in. I don't know what my best 11 is because we're making 4 or 5 changes for every match because we're playing so much football so quickly. I don't really know why the fixture list is working the way that it is. We're going to take off Mitchell for Pearce on the 70-minute mark and save one more substitution when we see somebody hit the red. It looks like that man is going to be Robinson. I don't know that we actually have someone who can come on for him. Can Pardo play on the right? He can't. I guess Hatuka could drop out there. Can Pardo play as the false 9? In fact, Tristan Wright can play as the false 9. So if we bring on Pearson and put Hatuka out there and Wright there, and that gets Pearson on for these final 10 minutes. If we throw a little bit of encouragement their way, we might just be able to grab a cheeky little winner, which, again, there's still very little separating the two teams. We don't know that we deserve a winner, but I'll take one if it's on offer. Pearce, Rochester, and now Rodriguez playing the ball up, looking for Pearson. And we know Pearson can make something of a ball like that. He doesn't on that occasion, but Pearce with the clearance that quite flukily ends up with Tristan Wright, but we can't get anything going from there. But there is the ball forward to Pearson again. And once again, he's not able to make anything of it. And we've missed the header there from Regis and got away with it a little bit. Although here is the ball over the top and Miami are in here and we needed a big save from Rosales, and that's exactly what he gave us because we've got one of the best goalkeepers in the league here. We've fluked into it through excellent scouting. We've fluked into it, picked up a very good goalkeeper, and he is doing the business for us once again today. But it is Miami who, with 5 minutes to go, are in. That's got to be offside. I think the linesman's got his flag up. The referee has got his finger in his ear, which is always a good sign in these situations. We're off to VAR again. All we've had today is VAR. And I love VAR. It really is great. And just consistently coming up in our favour today. The guy in the little VAR box, clearly a Bourne fan, because we've had a lot go our way today, which is awesome. Pearce now with the throw. Just a couple of minutes left and it's fallen to Gentry, who, if he can find a Bourne player in the box, we've got a chance. He doesn't, and we don't. And now Miami on the break. It's 2-on-2, and they are in again. I mean, you're not beating Rosales with anything like that. That's, quite frankly, it's insulting that he's even attempted the shot there. And we've gone well ahead on XG now, presumably because of the penalty and a sustained period of attack in this second half. We've not been able to grab a second goal, though, and Miami are in. Oh, that was a better effort. Still not enough to beat Rosales. You have to aim for the goal as well. And there's now 90 seconds left. Rochester with the flick on, but Pearson didn't really look very interested in chasing that, did he? And it's back with the goalkeeper. Somebody want to close him down? There you go. We like to close goalkeepers down in that situation. Aimless ball forward from their keeper. Hatuka, weirdly, has gone to right back to collect. And now we've still got about a minute left and we're lumping the ball forward. And this time Pearson does bring the ball down nicely. He turns and runs and Pearson, and it goes just wide. That was probably the moment. That was the chance for us to grab 3 points in this game. There's only 30 seconds or so remaining. I suspect we're not going to see another goal in this match, although Rodriguez has got other ideas, it seems, and is trying to get another attack going on this left-hand side. Gentry gives the ball away, though. But Corby's there to win it back. This is like a basketball game. Regis now, just get the ball forward. Gentry in an attacking position again. Pearson tries to play it in for Wright, and Wright just looks shattered at this point. I mean, he's not. I'm looking at his fitness levels. He looks fine. He's an odd one, isn't he, right? Just clearly didn't fancy it, which is so frustrating that a player with his talent just sometimes doesn't fancy it. We'll take that, though. We conceded 8 goals a couple of matches ago. I don't know if I mentioned it. So to not lose either of the matches on this video when we've played 2 decent sides, we're still in the playoff mix. Yeah, we'll take all of that. Please and thank you. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.